All right. Are we live? Is this thing live? Are we doing this? I don't know if we have to be live, if restreams have to do anything or not. If we
Yeah.
do, I will repeat what I'm about to say. Hello, Speed Gaming 2. I am Rumblemans. I am joined here by Sire, and we are get the pleasure and honor of commentating the 13-way Super Metroid multi-category tournament play-in race.
Oh
It's going to
boy.
be fantastic. How are you doing today, Sire?
Oh yeah, I'm super hyped to get to take the booth with you on this one, and for this race in general, it looks like it's going to be huge. And yeah, as we drop in here, I don't know what exactly everyone's seeing, but we're about to see the category selection live from Kip's channel, so hopefully everyone else can see that as well.
Yeah. It looks like I think they're gonna replace one of the streams or something. This is the first time I think we've done a live category selection, and oh, there it is. It's down in the lower left there. That is Kip's stream. He has a proven randomly generated thing that'll be determining the category. We see we got any percent, 100% in GT Classic. They threw out my suggestion of having the 100 missile RTA in there just for randomly, or minibus RTA. Decided to go with actual good categories.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. But of course, I think I've made it known. I'm crossing my fingers for a little GT Classic action myself. Any category you particularly, hope comes up here in a few seconds?
I am right there with you on GT Classic.
Right.
It's not that I don't enjoy any percent and 100%, but I think for a 13-way race where 9 people get in and 4 will be unfortunately left to go play golf at some point in their future. I think I want a volatile category that will cause maybe some people to risk a few things and some people to play it a little safer. And I think that's GT Classic.
Sounds good. I agree wholeheartedly with you there. And I definitely hope that that one comes up myself. But whichever one it is, it will be an excellent race. Like you said, 13 come in, 9 do get out, so it is a large percentage that'll get out. But it's still kind of a winner take all here, where if you beat the time, you're in the playoffs. If you don't, it's over.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see. I don't know where the delays are at. Oh, okay, I got the right stream. I'll wait.
Okay. Does that mean it's going to be any percent?
Well, if you're watching Kip's stream, you're being spoiled. I don't think it's on the restream yet, but it might be any percent, might be 100%, might be GT Classic. Should be coming up on the restream any second now.
Yeah, I see the restream did get changed over now.
Oh man, hype. Before we talk about, let's run through our runners quick while we wait for that to be determined on the restream. We have Aussie 101, Timo Chun, Fuzda, also known as Andrew, TG Derp, Sinan Mache, Traffic Tots, Hero 82, Lake Demon, Fruit Bat Salad, Richmond 3mm, Mr. Guy Average, and Freya Spirit. Holy cats, that is a loaded field. And,
oh yeah.
Oh, my restream.
And there it is. I think it is official now on the restream. We are going to see any percent. Still a great category, and the classics. The classics never go out of style. So definitely, I'm sure all these runners ready for that one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It does bring up an interesting question. Some of the favorites, the top runners that are maybe feeling pretty comfortable. Do you think they switch from new route to old route just to play it a little safer, or do you think they stick with new route and do the one that they've practiced more?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this morning. With such a loaded field, I would almost expect most of them to kind of go full out. I mean, not like 15, 10 or anything but I would expect new route runners to still run new route, just because we have a loaded field. You talked about it on Kip's channel the other day. Who do you pick who's not, a great runner in this list? Who do you pick who's the best? I don't know. It's just they're all good, and I wouldn't, want to switch up my route to old route and then, lose it by 3 seconds or something because, I could have done the faster route. I think we're going to see a lot of runners going all out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I don't know. I, I could go either way on it.
Yeah,
Certainly, I expect to see more people picking up maybe a fourth E tank.
yeah,
One of the easier E tanks, either Kraid or new route runners getting both Bot Wound and Ridley E tank if they decide to do new route. Things like that, I would expect. I don't expect anybody to run 1510. I think at the point where you're doing that, you're probably good enough that you don't need to skip that 7-second fanfare.
yeah. No, I expect safeties. And yeah, I mean, with the amount of people getting in, I mean, it is going to be 9 spots, right? I'm right on that.
It is 9 spots for
Yeah.
13 runners.
Yeah, so I mean, with 9 spots, it's not like you have to be absolutely the fastest. So I see the reason why you might pick the safer route. But I mean, also, maybe it throws you out of your comfort if you're grinding a new route, if you're, used to it, and then all of a sudden, you're doing an old route again. So I would, I like I said, I think these runners are going to go out and give us a good show, give us some new route. There's definitely some old route runners in here, I believe, from what I've seen, but I expect to see a good amount of new route as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I think I'll put the over under on. I'll say 2 people run new route.
Really, that low? Huh?
I think it'll be low. I think.
Okay.
I know Fuzda, for instance, in his week 6 race, actually ran old route in an N8% race. If I'm remembering correctly, my memory is not great these days.
Okay.
And he ran a pretty safe old route instead of running new route because he felt like he was favored and felt like he could run a much safer safer route by doing old route. So, but I think there could be a few people. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the over on that then. I feel like there's definitely some names on here that I've seen do new route, at least 2, maybe 3. And so I think we'll see. I mean, yeah, I don't think it'll be half of them. That would be a little much. I do agree with you on that. But I would guess maybe we get 4 or 5 new routes, maybe 3 or 4. I'll put my guess at 3 or 4. So I'll take the over. So yeah, I hear some music now. Do you see the stream?
I see part of the stream.
Okay, it's not just me. All right.
Yeah, I keep refreshing it. Sometimes it comes up with a better view for me. But I think if nothing else, it seems like the delay these days from the restream server to the actual live Twitch is pretty short these days, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. We do have a minute here. I know you made your picks the other day, but with the category being any percent, do you want to do any revisions to your team you picked the other night?
Oh man, throwing me back under the bus already.
Sorry.
Listen, with any percent, let's just let's go through here. Any percent. We'll start at just because the order of the list I have is by seed. We'll start at the top seeds and go down. Fuzda has a 44 any percent. I would be incredibly surprised if he doesn't make top 9 here. If he doesn't, it's because something really weird happened, like a Sunrise surprise Fantoon that one-shot someone with a second round left mid or something crazy. Okay. So I'll still take Fuzda.
All right.
Let's see. I think, interesting enough, my one pick that I was most worried about being wrong about, I'm not really worried about it, but the one that I thought I was, when I revisited the list, and which one I thought, oh, I can't believe I passed on that one, is Mr. Guy Average. 2 of his 3 categories, he's much stronger, I think, than the field. 100% in GT Classic. It seems like he has really good times. His any percent time is, I'm doing air quotes here, you can't see him, is only a 46-40, right? Which is still fantastic, but it's not kind of that. He's kind of in the pack there with a high 46 with the rest of them. So I think that actually could be a little bit to his detriment there. That could make for a little bit tougher there. So I keep him off the list. I don't know, man.
I will. Let me interject real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
I
please do.
actually, I've talked to watch a couple of Mr. Guy Average's races this season, and I'm actually going to have to disagree. Respectfully, of course, you know what you're talking about, but he's one of the ones that didn't make the list on Friday, and I would say, or whenever. When did you guys do it? It was Sunday night. Sorry. That didn't make the list that I thought I would definitely take myself. So like if I were making my own list, I would pick him up in a heartbeat. I mean, like you said, his any percent time, this might be hurting him, but I've seen his movement and his racing style, I guess I would call it, and I particularly think he would be on my top 5. But go ahead, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Sure. No, and I absolutely do not know what I'm talking about. I think if we're looking at a list of 13 racers and you're going to tell me, hey, 4 of these aren't going to make it in.
Yeah,
I feel like you could pick any 4 of them and I'd be like,
exactly.
That's ridiculous. How can those 4 not make it in? Right. But you could also pick any 9 and I'd be like, yeah, those 9 are great. Those 9 will definitely make it in. I won't be surprised. It's kind of like 2 sides of the same coin. I'm going to be surprised at the 4 runners that don't make it. Like at the end of this race, you're going to tell me these 4 people didn't make it. I'm going to be like, wow, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. But it's a tough field, right? And this is just to get in that top 16. They got 7 other runners that have already made it that are waiting for them, with their kind of chomping at the bit to get those best of 3s started in the bracket rounds.
For sure. So any other changes or adjustments, or do you want to steer away from that question now?
I to be honest, unless I went back and looked at it, I wouldn't even remember exactly who I picked. I know I picked Fuzda, and I know I left Mr. Guy Average off. And beyond that, I probably picked Fruit Bat Salad because I think he just always shows up in races.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. He's a strong runner, and I believe he has a pretty good any percent time, right? You had the list up.
Yeah, he does have a pretty good any percent time. I'm gonna say this, and then it's gonna make me look stupid because he'll have a slightly worse than Mr. Guy Average or something.
Oh.
Let's see here. Yeah, his 46:36. So
46:36.
4 seconds faster than Mr. Guy Average. I don't look like a complete idiot.
There you go. You saved it.
Gentlemen, what's up?
Hey, we are joined by none other than Kip Stratus himself. Welcome, Kip. Thank you for randomizing that category. How are you doing today?
You're welcome. I'm doing well. I'm excited for the race. I just wanted to come in real quick and just, as a, from an organizer point of view, and just say we're working on adjusting the layout to make sure we got 4. We thought we had it ready to go, but it's going to be just a second. And obviously, we don't want to start until that's ready to go because there's so many good runners in this race, and we're excited about it. So, really cool opportunity to watch a bunch of people. We're going to cycle people in as the racers finish. So remember, as you guys pointed out, 9 of the 12 participants. Did y'all cover the fact that John unfortunately wasn't able to participate?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, French Lightning John, a great runner who qualified for this plane race, unfortunately had some work responsibilities and wasn't able to get it sorted out. So he couldn't be here for this, but obviously he had a great tournament. So we have 12 runners, 9 will make it, and then we'll go from there. So I don't want to sit here and eat up y'all's time. I just kind of wanted to check in. We will be starting soon, and hope you guys enjoy. But Rumble Sire, y'all have an excellent commentary, and I'll see y'all at the end.
Awesome. Thanks, Kip.
Yeah, all right, appreciate the update.
I will make my first bold prediction that French Lightning John will not make the bracket.
Well, it's really good I didn't keep talking because as one of my picks, if I were picking my team, I probably would have taken John along with Mr. Guy Average. So I'm glad he updated me on that development. And, I don't have one of those injured reserves going into my fantasy team or anything. But yeah, definitely. So we'll have a little bit of a pause here. I mean, we do have, I guess we could quickly open with the sponsors. So we do, of course, have the sponsors. And, as much as these runners definitely want playoff or bragging rights, there actually is money on the line this year. And getting into the playoffs doesn't guarantee that, but you do have to get to top 8 to get into the money. But I believe that's provided by the Balls Garana and Mega Cat Studios. So definitely appreciate them chipping in. And making this a little more worthwhile, a little more something on the line, more dough.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you check out Bite the Bullet, which is known as a roguelite RPG shooter. Frankly, I was talking with a friend of mine last week that I love how video games are born these days. I feel like that game designers take a deck of cards that have types of games on them and just shuffle it together and pick out 2 or 3 and are like, yeah, we're gonna have a roguelike RPG, Metroidvania. Okay, sure.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's definitely an interesting time for games. All the new ones, all the old ones here, still got Super Metroid going. We've got some amazing games from that Mega Cat Studios. So definitely appreciate this time in gaming. And to be honest, a lot of them free with everything. A lot of people giving away free games, and so I've been trying out some new stuff myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think video games are a fantastic pastime and everything that's going on. And while Super Metroid isn't free, certainly, I think if you've been playing it for the last 25 years, you've got your money's worth.
Oh yeah. Well, and Nintendo's got some money for me for sure. I feel like I've bought everything that has ever had Super Metroid on it. Like I have one of those NES classics, and I've got the Switch subscription and all that stuff. So
yeah, I counted up how many times I've actually bought Super Metroid, if you count like virtual consoles and the SNES Classic, and I believe
true.
I've bought it 8 times at this point.
Oh wow. I think you got me beat. I forgot about it on Wii. I definitely had it on Virtual Console there, but yeah, I guess I'm probably only around like 4 or 5 myself. So, but still worth every penny every time. You get
absolutely.
Especially these days with we've had the multi-category tournament going. There's been some here that maybe people haven't been as familiar with. New way to play the game. That RBO was fun to watch. That low ice was interesting. That mother brain fight can get a little long in the tooth, but definitely still fun to watch. So I like the multi-category, bringing it back, letting us get a little more use out of those mini copies over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a testament really to the Super Metroid, just the game and how well it's held up, that you can come up with so many great competitive categories that are, all of these categories. It was one of the important things that they wanted from this tournament, was that all the categories can be run on a vanilla Super Metroid cartridge.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need an emulator. You don't need an SD2 SNES. Everything they do, everything is just straight from the cart. And we've got 7 different categories, and there's certainly a few more that they could have done. They could have done max percent GT code is one that I've heard thrown out there for the next multi-category maybe.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that would certainly be a fun addition, which has many starting routes, more starting routes than you would think. It's actually there's some very, very technical, high skill starting routes that crazy people do that are much better at Super Metroid than I am. And then there's very beginner friendly ones where you actually grab Varia and speed first before going to Red Ship, and you don't have to worry so much about doing things like bomb jumping over bowling spikes, or doing a 1-frame CWJ lava dive with no tanks.
Yeah, that all sounds terrible. So I'll take my easy route any day. For sure. No, I like the idea of max percent GT. I particularly do enjoy as we were talking, the GT categories. So definitely appreciate those, and anything that adds a little more to that. I like the addition of the triple bingo this year too. We saw some interesting racing coming out of that, and I know there were double anti-bingo tournaments and different things, and they did the triple to kind of mix it up. But you could have different mixes of bingos thrown in, and I hope that stays, or even maybe multiplies a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe what we need is a multi-category bingo tournament where we have several different bingo
Yeah,
flavors going on.
there you go. I like that.
I would love to see some lockout bingo, which is something I haven't seen run very often. But I feel like as a competitive person, that lockout bingo feels like the only version of Super Metroid. Double anti bingo a little bit, but lockout bingo especially, where I can affect my opponent. I can be like, no, I got Varia first, so you can't go for that tile.
Oof, that's a tough one. Yeah. Or, if there are a lot of Meridia tiles and you get through the wreck ship first, your opponent gets a slow fan tune and then can't pick up gravity, that's going to be a bad day. So yeah, I like that. That would be, yeah. I mean, you got 3 bingo categories right there. Make the whole tournament around it. I like that idea.
Blackout bingo. Actually, most cards wouldn't even be doable in a blackout.
Yeah, with the finish-in tiles and everything. Yeah. Although I saw one this season from Maniacal that was pretty close. If he had gotten a short charge, he could have finished his run with 4 rows completed and probably done another row or 2 because there weren't too many of those finish-in tiles on the board. So definitely.
Yeah, I actually did commentary on the race. I remember it vividly because if he had just picked up a few more power bombs, I think he could have very easily gotten 5 bingos.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Oh, Kip says we're getting paid overtime for this.
Time and a half. 1.5 times 0.
Yeah, I can pay off some of those bribes that I sent out to get on the comms here today.
We get paid in SRL points. We're getting fractions of a point for every race we commentate.
Sounds good. So, yeah. So do we know who's going to be on stream today to start? Oh, well, I think it just changed in my view. Okay. Question answered as soon as I said it. Oh, nice. We're going to see, it looks like, I mean, according to what I'm seeing, it looks like Mr. Guy Average, Andrew, Aussie, and Travatox are going to be on screen. That sounds awesome.
Nice.
And you said, just for those out there, Andrew is Fuzda, right?
Andrew is Fuzda. Fuzda is Andrew.
So, yeah, definitely. And people who practice GT Classic and Hundo asking if they're going to re-roll the category because of the delay. I like that. Nope, we are 80%. It does honestly, it does seem a little bit fitting to have the play-in race be the any percent, the classic category. So I'm not all that disappointed with it, to be honest myself.
Yeah, if nothing else, I feel like every runner, I guess I won't say every runner, there are a few specific cases out there where people haven't, but just about every runner starts with or very early in their career does any percent, and it's sort of the one that has grinded the most, right? Like it's the one that is the most competitive, it's got the most runners on it, it's the most optimized of these 3 categories, I think, for sure. So it's not unreasonable to say, hey, we're just going to use any percent to get 9 of these 12 runners into it, right?
Yeah.
75% of these runners are going to make it in. 3 of them are going to, unfortunately, be done with the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that, and yeah, at least on my screen, things look like they are getting sorted out. Hopefully, we should have the start in a moment here.
I did paste, by the way, in the Discord a multi-Twitch link if you want to watch all 12 runners at once. if you can grasp that, you're welcome to. I'm gonna have it up just in case I see something amazing or something more likely something terrible. Like if somebody has an unfortunate death, and they're not on the restream, I do want to call it out so that people watching know what's happened.
Yeah, I'll like that. I'll pull it up here. We'll see what we have going on. And do we have a start? Is that why it went off or no?
It has not started yet.
Yeah, I don't see anyone.
SRL.
Yeah, I don't see it. Everyone's on the start screen.
Everybody's waiting. Just letting the hype build. I'm just gonna, we don't want this over too quick. And I will point out, it is any percent, which means if the runners wanted to, if any of you runners are listening, you could run RBO or low percent ice. It's not too late. That counts as any percent.
That is true. Yeah, gentleman's agreement. I think we saw one of those the other day, right?
If everybody in the race just wanted to, and they're like, hey, you know what, let's do low percent ice, I'd be okay with that. I'll strap in for what could be a 2 or 3 hour long commentary, since 9 people are definitely finishing.
Yeah, that would be a long one. I might be rethinking my enthusiasm for it, but wow, this I think the multi-twitch might be lagging my connection here.
It might. It's trying to stream 12 streams at once. If you're on a not great connection, that might be.
Yeah, I have a newish setup, and I don't have a wired connection at the moment. Hopefully soon. So I'm gonna pause some of these actually. But in any case, yeah, definitely update me if anything awesome happens. I'll try and reopen it.
Oh, and we are off. We are starting.
Right.
Let's go. Who do you think will win Series Station? That's the real question.
Yeah, I don't know which one of these people have the best Series Station time, but I'd like to see a name like come out of left field here. Not on the restream. Maybe let's call Lake Demon. I'm gonna just throw his name out there. We'll see if he can pick up Series today.
I'm gonna say Hero 82 is gonna win Series.
He's very good at Series. Yeah. But yeah, here we are at Series Station, the start of any percent run, and the first Ridley fight.
I feel like it's like Twitch is not intended to watch 12 streams at once. Actually, this is not working super well for me.
Oh yeah, those windows were pretty tiny. And I see
we see Mr. Guy Average using the much better Japanese text. I approve of that choice.
It is definitely faster. And yeah, looks like on the restream at least, Aussie is going to take the victory on that one.
No. Andrew and Mr. Average both actually had a 46. Andrew was I believe a better 46 even. 46-22 for Fuzda, and Aussie with a 45-26, and Mr. Guy Average with a 46-12.
Oh wow, those are some good times. Yeah, I've seen some times in the SRL. Yeah, I don't see anything really better than 46-22, huh?
Derp with a 46-18 apparently got a Series PB. Nice. GG. Already a good day for Derp.
Nice. So we land on the planet here and run left. Next little bit we're going to be looking for, well, at least me, is going to be Moonfall. See if any of our on-stream runners are a fan. I already see Aussie doing it in the first room here.
I see Andrew choosing to use appropriate fall speeds. Looks like our other two runners, Mr. Guy Average and Travatox, both have Moonfall on, or Moonwalk on to allow them to Moonfall.
And with any percent, there's definitely going to be less. Even though we have a good 9 getting in, I mean, the times are going to be a lot closer together, I imagine, than your 100% and your GT Classics, to the point where a little Moonfall might go a long way in this field. So I definitely don't blame them for trying to get the advantage early on in this race, and carried on to victory.
I think the next thing I'll be looking at, especially with these 4 runners, will be how they handle the pirates on the way to Green Brinstar, and that'll tell us generally if they're going new route or old route. If they face tank those pirates and run through them, they'll be probably heading down to Crave, unless they're suicidal. If they kill them, that generally means they're doing it a little bit slower so that they have conserve health for Fantoon.
Yeah, so that should give us a good idea of where everyone's heading, and what route they're doing. And do you want to, this is on SpeedGaming, so I don't know if everyone's been following the tournament, but you want to cover the route difference, old versus new?
Sure, absolutely. The biggest difference that is going to be apparent with any new route runner, which is actually not that new. We get that question a lot. How new is new route? Well, it's like 3 years old at this point. But there hasn't been a new route found yet. So until there's a new route, it's going to be new route.
And it will be called new route. You just coined it.
So new route will be heading to wreck ship first, using generally one of 2 methods to get over moat without speed or grapple, which is either a CWJ, which is a 1-frame jump followed by a 2-frame jump, usually, or a horizontal bomb jump to get over. They'll be fighting Fantoon without Varia, with less E-tanks, with less beams, generally using missiles as the only damage, and then getting gravity first, and then heading down to either Lower Norfair or Kraid. The route itself is more efficient because you don't have to go down to Norfair, back up to wreck ship, back down to Norfair, and instead you go wreck ship all the way down to Norfair, and then clean up through, finishing through Meridia and on to Turian. So lengthwise, it's a faster route. However, it means you're doing Fantoon without Varia and with less E-tanks, which is a lot harder. It means you're doing Ridley with Spazer instead of Plasma. It means you're doing a 60-shot Mother Brain 2 instead of a 20-shot Mother Brain 2. It's overall just a much more difficult route, but generally considered a bit faster, 1.5 to 2 minutes faster, although it hasn't. Old route hasn't really been pushed like to its limits like new route has been.
Yeah, and definitely, I would say the word I would use is dangerous as well, especially that Fantoon fight. I mean, we've seen many runs die to that Fantoon fight, so making it a much more dangerous run. Being in Mother Brain for that long, you can lose your concentration and definitely have some issues. But all these runners so far are having great Bomb Torizo fights, and I don't think any of them had any head explosions. So we're definitely seeing some excellent play on the early game.
We do see 2 runners taking out all the pirates and coming through without getting hit. So that is Aussie and Travactox are looking like they're going to be doing new route. Andrew and Mr. Guy Average in complete sync going into early supers, like almost frame for frame. Both face tank the pirates. Apparently, both going to do old route.
Yeah, and I like it for the restream for sure. We get to see a little bit of everything. So we got 2 runners probably heading new to old, and we'll get to see the differences here. Does make it a little difficult to determine who's going to be ahead, left versus right, but at least we'll still have the top bottom races going on, and we'll be able to see kind of who's in the lead that way. Yeah, now looks like Travatox did take a hit somewhere. So trying to get an energy drop, and it doesn't get it. Bombing through that wall. A little unfortunate, but should be able to handle it still.
Yeah, that should be fine. 189 still very comfortable, and he likely took a hit from the waivers by early supers to try to do the deep boost.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, shout outs to anybody in chat who's calling out what's happening to the other runners. I tried to pull up streams for all 12 of them, and it was so far behind that it wasn't useful. So instead, I'm gonna just focus on the runners that are restreamed and try and do commentary for those.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just everyone keep in mind that there are other runners, but these are the ones that we're going to be talking about for the moment. So, all of these runners pretty close together at the moment, but Red Tower is going to be where we're going to see the splits. You see already on the top, one going up, one going down, and then on the bottom, one going down, and yeah, there he goes. Travatox heading up. So that is where the split happens from old to new route, heading straight up to Fantoon. So for the right side of your screen, the next big trick coming up is that CWJ, or horizontal bomb jump. It is very tight. I believe, what is it? If they do it running through the door, they get 2 frames, but if they do it inside the door, it's a 1-frame jump to a 1-frame jump.
Yeah, the jump to get the... So it's 2 jump presses, right? You have the jump, the spin jump to kind of get over the pillar, and then the wall jump off of the pillar. The first jump is always a 1-frame jump, regardless of whether or not it's in-room or out-of-room setup. The second jump off the pillar is a 2-frame jump if you set it up from outside the room, and a 1-frame jump if you set it up from inside the room.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it's a 2-frame jump from you go outside the room, because I feel like when I miss it, it's always that jump, and it should be twice as easy. It's 2 frames instead of 1. But yeah, it just doesn't work out well for me.
All right, and we do have Kraid happening kind of at the same time here, so lots going on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Aussie misses the CWJ, and Mr. Guy Average having a nice Kraid fight, taking him down very quickly.
Ooh, it looks like Andrew must have missed some supers on his quick kill. He's gonna have to do
he was trying to do the charge method too, which is usually easier for most people, I guess. But yeah, oh, look at that. And 2 horizontal bomb jumps happening at the same time, completing the moat. So our right side runner showing off that horizontal bomb jump skill.
And Andrew showing us that this fight actually takes a lot longer when you run out of ammo. Supers do quite a bit of damage, 3 times what a missile does. And Kraid not being very nice to him.
Oh no, yeah. And he's got to be careful not to get to health bomb range either, because those... Alright, he did get it, good. Because there are limited drops in that room, and if you get too low, they will only drop health. So that is not a great start for Fuzda. I would say Travatox and Aussie having a pretty good start, getting the HBJs pretty quickly, and Mr. Guy Average on the old route having a good start as well.
Yeah, it looks like you were right to take the over, because we have at least 4 runners that did new route. Rich and Hero, who are not on stream, also did new route.
Nice.
Sorry, more than 4 doing, or at least 4 doing new route. Rich and Hero, and then the 2 we have on the stream.
Okay. I'm a little... honestly, I thought that... I was thinking one of the ones that would do it would be Freya's. Do we know if they went old or new?
I don't know. But I bet Mook will tell us shortly.
Yeah, meanwhile, we've got dueling Fantoon fights. Looks pretty good from both. Oh, that Doppler was amazing from Travatox, but he did miss the super. Man, bummer.
It looks like they're going for some safe 3-round Dopplers. I believe actually Freya said that they were planning to pick up the Kraid E-Tank, which would indicate that they are doing old route.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. So we got Fantoons down, though, for our new route side of the board, which is always definitely breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. So, you didn't die. That was the main thing.
That's certainly one heavy reset point for new route, so they're feeling good about that. They still are. It's not free yet. They have the rest of Wreck Ship, and Bowling has... excuse me, the Bowling Spikes have claimed more than 1 runner. They'll need to go in there with, at least 121 health, and ideally over 180.
Yeah, there's the potential if their movement's good enough that they only need 2 jumps to get through the room. But if they need the 3rd jump and don't have the energy, it's a bad day. So definitely, hopefully, or I assume that they will be taking it a little bit safer and making sure they have enough energy for the 3rd jump, even if they don't need it. I feel like not to overhype anything. I feel like Mr. Guy Ever just had a pretty good opening here on the old route. He did miss Ball Mountain the first time, but got it pretty quickly after, and is already picking up the speed booster here under 14 minutes. So I think he's having a good run here to start. Fusta back in the game too, already in Norfair. Heading over to Bubble Mountain himself. And here comes that bowling room you were talking about. Full energy for Aussie, so shouldn't be any problem. And as near as makes no difference for Travatox, so... get some D-boost too, so having no problem with the 2-jumper for Aussie.
Yeah, that's a bold strat choice. Maybe it's not bold for somebody who practices it. Anytime I try to deboost, I end up taking 3 hits instead of 1, and it does not go well for me.
Oh man, I saw the worst deboost, not the worst, like just the most unfortunate deboost the other day, where it like popped straight up, not even left or right, just straight up. It was like, oh well, you're definitely dead now. That's unfortunate. So, but yeah, both of these on the right-hand side, Aussie and Travatox, clearly very seasoned.
Aussie almost ran through gravity. Oh, that would have been a terrible time loss there. Luckily, catches himself and comes back before exiting.
Yeah, that's a good catch. You don't want to that door. In case you didn't notice, when you exit it, it is metal, so it means going all the way back around through bowling, taking forever to go through that again. And yeah, it's a bad day. Does that just happens with the combo of the wave, right? If you shoot a wave shot through it, or you know how that happens?
I don't think so. I think it just matters on when you hit it versus when you're running through it. Like there's some frames where it's changing from a orb to the item where it won't register that you picked it up, and you can just run right through it.
Oh, jeez. And we do see our new route runners heading down Red Tower, as our old route runners are heading sort of up. Mr. Guy Average heading that way right now. So this is the backtrack you were talking about. Mr. Guy Average was already in Norfair and Fusda as well, and now they're going to head up and then back down.
And then back up.
So, and yeah, both of our right side runners using a lot of Moonfall in that tower to make that a little faster as well. It looks like Mr. Guy Average is going to go for that sweet wave shot and gets it with a down grab. That was beautiful.
That's such a... I can't even describe
how
much harder that is than the hero shot.
His PB may not be that great, but his movement is top notch. That shot not easy to get, and that down grab looked like it was at the very last frame to possibly do it. And so, yeah, he's putting together a good run here.
Yeah. Well, no, I guess I don't know if Mr. Guy Average has PB since the tournament started, but according to the tournament spreadsheet, his PB was 4640, and yeah, that is still pretty great. Yeah.
No, that I mean, we were talking about in relation to 12 other awesome runners as far as their PBs against each other and all that. I didn't mean to dismiss the 46 as
I was questioning it because Azure mentioned that 45 isn't that great. Apparently he has a 45 that was discussed at some length.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't doubt it.
And yes, 46 is great. Let me be perfectly clear. Every one of these runners has better times in every category than I have. So I believe they are all fantastic runners.
Exactly. I second that.
The level of skill I'm trying to get to at some point.
Yes, I definitely second that. And yeah, I don't doubt at all that Mr. Guy Average's PB has increased. We see an excellent quick kill from Aussie, and Travatok's still hot on his tail.
Yeah, we do notice they are running New Route, but they're running a version of New Route. If they were like the fastest New Route, right, would go to Kraid after Ridley. But picking up Varia first makes things a little bit safer. Makes the lava dive, if they end up having to do lava dive with the gravity jump, take a lot less health. In general, a little bit safer and not that much slower. So I don't doubt at all that.
Yeah, and I see this route a lot, honestly, from Zost. That's like the main person I've ever seen this route from, but now I see these two doing it as well, where, you know, it gains the time advantage from what you were talking about, the backtracking, but, you know, it's definitely a lot safer to have Varia for all the lower Norfair fights, and it's not really, you know, with the extra ammo they'll be picking up, it's not really that big a deal to get the mini Kraid refill, so they, you know, this route just ends up being a lot safer but still faster.
It also allows them to get 3 E-tanks before lower Norfair instead of the normal 2 you would have if they decide to pick up Kraid, which both of them did.
Yes, yeah. So they're definitely, you know, trying to secure that spot with those safeties on this route. So yeah, they're picking up the early tanks. Likely not going to see another tank till after Ridley, whether it be Ridley or Bot Woon.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see either of them run a 5 tank if they, you know, like the tank after Ridley is so nice for getting out of lower Norfair. Having that full health just makes everything a lot more comfy.
For sure.
And the tank right before Dragon means you don't have to worry as much about something bad with chain damage happening or something crazy happening. So again, the only thing you're losing really is the fanfare time.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on...
And Raging Fantoon, unfortunately, was a little bit short on damage. Going to waste some time here, too.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, because it looked like he had a good opening X Factor, too. I wouldn't have expected Fantoon to have much left. So, yeah, I don't blame him for pumping that super a little early. That's a low. That is a time loss, though, and he already had an issue earlier, so... with Kraid, so not doing too hot on the bosses today. Hopefully he'll be able to take out Ridley and Dragon a little faster.
It does look like Mr. Guy Average skipped the Kraid tank versus Andrew, who picked it up.
Oh yeah, true. But yeah, both of those E-tanks too, I mean, you may not even, sorry, going back to the ones you were mentioning after Ridley and after Bod Woon, you may not even lose the full 7 seconds if, depending on how your run's going, if your health is low and you would have to spend time refilling anyways, you know, it's, that refill time can definitely eat into your run if you're not careful. And looks like Kip saying no one's doing PRKD, which would be the fastest new route. So most everyone doing either old route or the hybrid new route.
Yeah, everybody doing new route. It seems to be doing the what's known as the Captain Picard route, PKRD.
Ooh, Fusta getting a nice attic spark there. I like that.
That is one of those things that picking up the Kraid E-tank makes very easy. You don't have to worry about managing your health there in attic. You can do that spark and not have to worry about it. You can see he did that spark and still has over 200 energy. It's very comfy.
I see some discussion of patterns in the SRL. Apparently FBS getting a slow. That's always a bad day. One of the off-stream runners. Don't forget to check all of them out as well.
And Derp got a fast, mid, fast, slow. So having that 4-round Fantoon never something you're looking for in a race.
Yeah, and what does Fuzda call out with the Enrage? Just
I think he just quietly moves on and doesn't say anything.
It was a slow.
Mr. Guy Average heading into Dragon. Very nice ammo here. Full on missiles, full on supers.
Yeah,
good energy. Will be picking up that bot Lee tank to fill up before Dragon as well.
Yeah, and you kind of talked about it a little bit, but so Mr. Guy Average heading to Meridia right now, while our new route runners heading to Norfair. The one change that is super beneficial and probably a huge safety as well is the old route runners, so like Mr. Guy Average and Fuzda here, will be picking up that plasma beam. They'll have a lot more firepower, be a lot less reliant on ammo for some of the later fights. So that's one of the things that makes it a lot safer too, is the plasma beam. It's only 20 shots to kill Ridley and 20 shots to kill Mother Brain.
Yeah, absolutely. I think plasma is the item where, like, if you could route it into new route, you know, it would be the thing that would save the most time. Even if you just got it from Mother Brain. The difference between 20 shots and 60 shots, it's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, for sure. Oh no, something's going on with Travatox's Lava Spark.
Yeah, he...
oh, can he get out of this? That's
that?
Not good. Okay, he got it.
That was really strange. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's unusual. He's gonna have to fall back to a gravity jump here. Gets a first try. With high jump, it's pretty, well, let's not call it easy, but it's pretty consistent as far as that goes. So Travatox, knowing his backups, his rando strats, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, and Mr. Guy Average, unfortunately, goop sparking into the ceiling, trying to get the full halfie.
Yeah, his Meridian's not going as well as his early game. His bot wound, I don't know if you noticed. He was caught in the wrong corner, I feel like, and missed one of the X Factors, and just had a little bit of a time, ran out of supers, so hopefully he'll be able to take down Dragon here with a little less issue. Travatox cleaning up with the fast pillars.
He attempted the new setup or the new-ish setup for Bot Wound, where you get all the particles kind of going towards him, and unfortunately one of them is a little bit off. Fuzda, on the other hand, having such a good fight and knowing how good the drops are going to be, that he just shoots a super into the ceiling for the fun of it after Bot Wound's
Yeah, I like people calling that strat you were talking about with the X Factor and Bot Wound. I like them calling it the rain dance.
Looks like we are swapping Fuzda out, saying, "Hey, man, if you're gonna enrage Fantoon and not get the crit quick kill, then we're putting on the Kid Icarus world record holder fruit bat salad onto the stream."
All right. And I don't see anything actually on the screen for him yet.
He's paused because he's too far ahead, so they're letting all the timers catch up to 26:44 until they unpause his stream.
Gotcha.
Looks like he's just a few seconds behind Mr. Guy Average.
Oh yeah, look at that. So yeah, still on the same route. So we still have old route on the left, new route on the on the right. Sorry, but yeah, both of them getting blue suits too. That's super hype.
Yeah, and he's a few seconds behind, and it looks like he... Oh, no.
Mr. Guy Average cannot spark of that room to save his life today.
We do see that Fruit Bat Salad likely picked up the crate E-Tank. He has those that fourth E-Tank.
Yeah, he's got the full
and he's going to catch up a little bit here, getting that reverse halfie.
Yeah, and we have Ridley fights going on the right-hand side. So the action never stopping when you have old route versus new route on this. This is one of the things we're talking about. No plasma beams, so he's taking a lot of spacer shots to get Ridley down. We'll see if he uses the ammo up to finish him off.
Yeah, generally they will use the supers on Ridley.
Yeah.
As they're quite a bit faster than Spazer shots. But
There he
yeah,
goes.
there he goes.
Yeah, you do want to get Ridley. Usually, before you do that, you want to get him down pretty far into the red, and it's always easier when he's pogoing as well. So yeah, really nice fight from Aussie. That was clean.
That should be the first Ridley kill of the race, I believe, unless there's somebody off stream who's ahead. I don't know.
Yeah, now we have Travatox just shortly behind him, so definitely all these racers still really close together.
Yeah, Fruit Bat's held about a fanfare behind, a little over 6 seconds behind Mr. Guy Average. So that's
yeah. And as you mentioned, if Mr. Guy Average picks up that Ridley E-Tank, then that'll all be but caught up. So yeah, the Travatox having some great pogos here as well on Ridley, doing great manipulations. This fight looks like it's going to be over pretty soon. Ridley already getting a little red.
He hasn't used his supers yet. We'll see if he decides to use them.
Yeah, I think he needs a few more. Probably a few more Spazer shots. I think. Yeah, now if he gets a pogo, he's going to use the supers. There he goes. There it is. Yeah, Ridley's pretty much done. Yeah, there you go. Oh no, never mind.
I think he's dead. He just needs to get grabbed.
Oh, okay. There he goes.
Yeah, you can time that jump if he's pogoing, and you do kind of a down jump, so you down and crouch. Right after he hits the ground, you can down jump right into his claw and get in there, and he is going to pick up that Ridley E-Tank. Makes sense. Aussie did not pick up the Ridley E-Tank. Looks like he might be getting the bot wound one.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, he'll be doing a 3-tank run.
Yeah, and I mean that is definitely. I mean, it's definitely possible with this route, you know, because he did pick up the early Various suit. That it's still fairly safe for him without having to pick that up so early. So he still has the option of picking up that bot wound tank. That one's pretty quick, but yeah, maybe he's going 3-tank. He wants it all. He wants total victory.
All 12 runners have 3 bosses down right now. Wow, this is a very close race.
Nice. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't have any. Well, I guess I haven't checked on all of them, but I assume if that's the case, then we haven't had any early deaths or anything crazy happen. So we're just gonna have fast racing here and strong finishes. Let's do it. And we do see Mr. Guy Average taking the southern route. Oh, and Fruit Bat Salad as well. So shout out to Kip in chat.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the southern route. I think actually I've done both. You know, the southern route. I hope FPS and Mr. Guy Average both get this. Fruit Bat Salad looking good. These space jumps through these last few rooms going southern route are just so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you get those really fast space jumps, and you're already in to the lava dive. Mr. Guy Average taking a D-boost in. And then using the sort of intended space jump there. Fruit Bat Salad decided to pick up that extra drop, and then doing my favorite strat with the pseudo screw charge through the blue flame there from the Namahe. Sort of laughing in his face at it not hitting him. Love it. It does look like Aussie has picked up quite a lead on our right-hand side, with already being to bot wound. And doing the rain dance. Maybe it'll catch on that name. Oh wow, that was
very nice
fast fight. Wow.
Man, and if there was ever a time where he was going to skip the bot wound tank, it would be right now. Because even without a health bomb, he's full on health.
Yeah, exactly.
He is picking it. I think this is a good choice by Aussie, but it had to be at least a little tempting to say, you know what, 399, I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely having a great early race here, and he had to have been tempted. I mean, it is still a race, though, so, and, you know, it's not a PB attempt, and playoff berth on the lines. You got to kind of rein yourself in a little bit there. Still, though, getting a sweet full halfie all the way over and into the red door. So not having to do any of those silly jumps in that pre-Dragon room. Aussie now having so much energy that these Shine Spark kills should be pretty quick for him. He's got extra even if he misses. So that's the other thing with picking up the early tanks. This fight definitely will be a little bit easier as far as having more energy to Shine Spark. Mr. Guy Average still rolling with 3, so might be planning on picking up that Ridley tank. And we are going to see the different Ridley fight here on the bottom left with Mr. Guy Average. Just 20 plasma shots, a little bit shorter, a little bit easier, but still dangerous.
The other nice thing about having plasma is you can conserve all of your super missiles. So generally running old route, ammo not really a concern heading into Turian. Aussie, on the other hand, after finishing up Dragon, is looking pretty good with ammo actually. 16-3 coming out of there is not bad. Obviously the more supers the better, but he could farm a few bugs just to try to get a few more supers before Turian.
And as you mentioned, Travatox here, picking up tank number 5, so making it extra safe going into bot room, or going into Dragon. I mentioned that might have been a little bit on the refill side too, because he was only at about 2 tanks, so he might have been thinking he needed more energy to do the Shine Spark kills.
And he wanted some supers from those bugs for the Dragon fight. Used a spark to farm them, and because he was under full health, they can drop health. And they all dropped big health. He got no supers from that farm. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that farm feels bad. Like, he did the exact thing he needed to force super drops there, and then it all dropped health. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I think he might even be a little thrown there. Having a little trouble in that room with but he can bring it back with this Dragon fight. So as you do see, all the bosses down for 3 of the 4 on stream, and runners on the left on the old route, being all the way down in Norfair, have a long way to go, while Aussie already up and out of Meridia here, and just a short jaunt over to Torian. So would look like he has a significant lead, but he does have potentially a longer Torian, so we still not 100% sure, but I mean, Aussie does look like he has a pretty good lead.
Yeah, for sure. He got all the bosses down about the same time as Mr. Guy Average in FPS, but as you said, he right there coming out of Meridia, able to go straight back to Criterion down to Turian. I want to point out one of the other things that can sometimes be forgotten about old route and why it's easier is we see both FBS and Mr. Guy Average with plasma. You get choices here on this 3 Musketeers. You can kill them and barely lose any time. You can also use plasma to hitbox them. If you run through them while plasma is affecting them, they won't damage you, and so you can use plasma to avoid a lot of damage here, versus on new route where that is not an option.
Yeah, that plasma beam gives you a lot more options in the late game here, and yeah, it gives you a lot more time to run through those pirates too. So yeah, Miss Aussie, the first one on stream to hit G4 at about 37 minutes. Well, yeah, a little less, but 37 minutes, having a really good run here. Does need to get some super drops. He's going to be looking for super drops from these Metroids. Rolling only 2 at the moment, but other than that, everything else looks good. So as long as he doesn't get Travatox's luck on the Metroid drops, he'll be fine. I'll check out his Metroid Room 1.
He's going to group them.
Yep. With that amount of supers, I definitely.
Wow.
What did he get there?
He got seven supers from those last 3 Metroids.
Okay, so the grouping strat was definitely the smart move to get all the supers he needed, and he basically got them all. Dang, that was a crazy drops. Had a little trouble in Metroid Room 3 though. Still all full on supers. Shouldn't be a problem in the 4th room.
Yeah, and because he's full on missiles, I would not be surprised if he freezes these and uses a super to kill them so that he gets health drops. Yeah, and then that will make sure, because he has full missiles, anything that would be a tier 1 or tier 2, I forget which one is which, but either missile or health drop will be a big health, which is nice. That makes sure he gets full health going into the baby skip.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see, actually, as new route and old route kind of come together, Mr. Guy Average just a room behind Travatox. And Mr. Guy Average potentially with the faster Mother Brain fight. So we may see him pass Travatox here in Torian with Fruit Bat Salad hot on both of their tails.
Yeah, I would not be surprised, actually, as like looking at this, you wouldn't expect it. I would not be surprised to see Travatox being the 4th finisher out of these 4 runners, given that Fruit Bat Salad and Mr. Guy Average have plasma.
Yeah, exactly. And so, even though he took the new route and gained some time, he also took safeties like that 5th tank in a race that's going to be this close. I mean, every little bit. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, he's not looking so hot at the moment for the on-stream runners.
I do see, by the way, on the restream, and I don't know if everybody's synced up on the multi-Twitch that I'm looking at, but I do see Frey Spirit, they are in G4, TG Derp in D4, Richmond in G4, Hero 82 in G4, Andrew and Timo-chan both on their way through the room just before G4. This is a very, very close race.
Yeah, too close to call. And I like that sweet swaggy last moonfall there in the G4 room for Mr. Guy Average. Just got to call it out. He went right onto the elevator, wasting no time. And Aussie might, from people calling out their G4 times in the SRL, Aussie seems like he's kind of way ahead at this point, but not all of them have called out, so we'll see. And yeah, now all of our on-stream runners also in Torian here. Travatox coming to the last room with a little low on supers. Probably going to go the missile route here and gets everything he needs, though.
Getting that sweet Rinka D boost there to avoid the big grasshoppers there, or sorry, big frogs.
Yep. Mr. Guy Average not getting it, going for meme health with the 69. FBS having some pretty good Metroid rooms and all full on everything coming into the last one.
Always feels good to get into this room with 2010.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to play it even safer, and he was, I think, basically full on health as well, but going to make sure he exits that room with full, so he doesn't have to worry about getting sniped on the ramp. Ooh, Mr. Guy Average getting grabbed by the Metroid.
Yeah, they were on screen.
Normally I would say baby skip, determining a race once in a while, but like everybody is so close in this race. Like we've seen all the G4 times getting posted, and some of them are 2 or 3 seconds away from one another.
Exactly.
So that could make a difference there. I think Mr. Guy Average still far enough ahead in the pack that he'll be all right, but definitely going to let FBS catch up if FBS gets this baby skip here.
Yeah, he's taking a couple extra jumps, but he's going to get it. Yeah, he's got it. And Aussie got it too. So actually, Mr. Guy Average, our only on-stream runner, to kind of mess that a little bit up. And we'll see how it finishes out here. But Aussie almost done. Basically just Mother Brain 3 and the escape to go. So may even be our first finisher from the SRL with Aussie on screen.
Yeah, I would expect I think Aussie will likely be the first finisher. I don't expect him to have any trouble with the rest of this fight, and with a really good time too. This is going to be an excellent race time.
Definitely, yeah. Everybody, this race is delivering here. We've got lots of mother brains on the screen, and it is going to be close finishes. So hold on to your butts. And we do see Travatox taking a lot of those spacer shots, while our left side runners, they almost basically synced up our left side runners. Only gonna need 20.
Yeah, world record was over, 2.5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Posted during the tournament, actually. I believe Zost finally capped it off by 1 second. What was it, week 6 or week 5? So yeah, we do see Mr. Guy Average here getting the rainbow beam before Travatox. So Travatox has lost the lead over the old route runners. Yep, FBS has it, and Travatox shortly behind, but still a little behind.
And I will call out that he did a very, very safe new route. With five tanks, but still.
Yeah, but I mean that means we have old route here, almost the same speed as new route. It's very interesting and a hot finish. Aussie just on the escape, and all these runners will need to make a clean escape because any bonk spark or any goop sparks or anything that could cost them the race with it being this close.
Yeah, Aussie on a high 45 pace, I think.
Yeah, he's going to be out pretty shortly.
Actually, sorry, low 45 pace is what I meant.
Yeah, let's see if he gets in under the 45. He's got a few seconds. See if he saves those animals, right?
I predict very few live animals after this race.
I'll take the under on that. All right, and here it is, your race winner, Aussie, finishing first place with a SRL time of 45:05. GG, and what a hot time for him to finish up. GG, taking the first spot away, not leaving anything to chance, not leaving anything on the table. Great race.
Nicely done, Aussie. A low 45 in a race is always an incredibly solid time. And we're gonna swap in TG Derp here with the black timer. Also on Mother Brain, I can't tell how many seconds are left. That's a 45:51 maybe that's on his timer. But it looks like he is heading into Mother Brain 3 shortly.
Yeah, just a
although
few seconds.
He has 499 health, so I don't know if he's right before 3 or just got into 3.
Oh, there goes the baby.
Oh, there it goes.
Mother Brain 3. So yeah, and Mr. Guy Average and Fruit Bat Salad still super close together, heading out into the escape.
Oh my god. Yeah, they
in
are
the same door transition.
Steam could determine which of them finishes second.
That is true. Alright, so TG Derp gets Mother Brain 3 down. Travatox is shortly behind them as well, so any mishap at the end of the escape here could cause one of them a spot.
This is such a crazy close race, and I wish I could see everybody's, because I think there's probably 6 more runners who are all at Mother Brain at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we do see, looks like Mr. Guy Average is going to make it out. We'll have to see the official SRL times, but looks like he's on top of the Fruit Bat Salad race here. And he hits the ship. Mr. Guy Average takes it with a... Oh, I lost it. Sorry. With an official SRL time of 47:06 and gets a PB for the race. While Fruit Bat Salad just 4 seconds behind with a 47:10. And Travatox, as you see him hitting the ship, 47:25.
Mit einer 47:25. Oh, passt sogar fast.
Oh. Ponzosa. All right, like they're coming in like gangbusters now here. I can't even keep up. Like I'm trying to. We got Freya Spirit finishing up, Derp finishing up, and Fuzda. We're waiting for Derp to get in there. Derp gets in. Derp is in 5th place with a 47.53, also getting an SRL PB. That's the 3rd SRL PB. Aussies was also a SRL PB by almost a minute. Oh my.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuzda and Freya Spirit are going to be coming in here any second now. There's Fuzda gonna be a little bit ahead there. He's gonna finish in 7th place with a 48.16, saying what a train wreck of a run, but good enough to get him in. Freya Spirit, they are gonna finish in 48.22, and one more runner will be able to make it in. Is it gonna be Hero? We got his timer paused at 48.58. We'll see if anybody else comes in.
He's on the ship. I mean, I don't know why his timer's paused, but
because we gotta wait for he's like 40 seconds ahead of the other timers.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna try to get the other players in, but there's 4 of the runners left. Oh, can we just pause all the streams? I don't want to know. Oh, well, he gets in at 49 minutes exactly, and we do have SRL confirmation that Hero 82 has finished in 9th place. He will be our last qualifier with a time of 49 minutes exactly, improving his PB as well. Is that that's 4 race PBs
so far
in a single race?
Yeah, and we haven't seen all the finishers, but yeah, that's and actually, I mean, I know they're trying to swap them in, but
that was crazy close.
With the crazy finish, I mean, I think we just kind of, we go over. Obviously, everybody was racing down to the wire. Hero did make it in 9th place with that 49. And then we do have finishes. Oh, I guess Richmond is started up here. Okay. Well, we do have finishes from Lake Demon off stream at 49.08, just 8 seconds behind Hero. And then Cyan, he was at 49.44, just a few seconds behind him. And then you are going to see Richmond here round out the 12 runners with hit the ship. Gets steamed a little bit, but then hits the ship with a 50.16. So What was Aussies? Aussies was 47?
No, it was a 45.05.
45, okay. So 45, he blew everyone away, kind of, but then 47 to 50. So within 3 minutes, pretty much, was the rest of the field. What a crazy close finish, and so many times within 4 or 5 seconds. Unbelievable. But yeah, let's run it down. I mean, obviously, Aussie's in. Who else do we got? Rumble?
All right, we got first place. We got Aussie 40, as we said, 45.05. 2nd place, making it in, Mr. Guy, above average with a 47.06.
Love it.
Fruit Bat Salad 4 seconds behind that with a 47.10. Traffic Talks right behind him, 47.25. TG Derp rounding out the 47 runners with a 47.53. Timo Chun coming in at 48.05 in 6th place. Fuzda right behind him, losing, he says, at least 2 or 3 minutes to bosses with a 48.16. Still, way better than my PB. Freya Spirit squeaking it in 8th place with a 48.22, and making it in by the skin of his teeth, Hero 82 with a 49 minutes, 8 seconds ahead of the Bubble Boy. Unfortunately, Lake Demon, 10th place, going to be eliminated from the tournament, 49.08. Cyan Mache with a 49.44, also going to be eliminated, and Richmond 3mm, 3 millimeter. I like to call him Richmond 3 with a 50.16. Sounds like he had a rough Turian. From what I see in the SRL chat, with a 50.16, rounding out our runners. You know what I love? Everybody finished, and if we look at from 2nd place to 10th place, which is you had to be top 9 to get in. 2nd place to 10th place was within 2 minutes, which is insane for that many runners.
Yeah, this was definitely an insane race, and GG to those hitting the playoffs. Definitely. GG to Aussie, taking the overall victory and showing that he deserves the spot, and everyone down to Hero, who is getting into the playoffs. the top 9, they are now in, and we will see those best of 3s coming up. But what a great race today. Man, a little speechless there at the. I mean, I guess I should have expected it with any percents in such a great class of runner, but it was like machine gun fire those times coming in, just one right after the other. Wow, are we bringing anyone in for interviews, or are we kind of just finishing it off ourselves here? Do you know?
I don't know. I am guessing we started a little bit late. However, we did plan, I guess, for the possibility of 100%, so we might have some time. I guess we need to I don't know. I'm gonna let restreamers people mark people done. I don't know if they're doing any of those things.
Yeah. The stream is a little weird at the moment, but I'm glad everyone joined us, and that we got to see this race. That was amazing. Just want to point out my guy, Mr. Guy Average, in second place, kind of called it earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like I said, if you're telling me the people that made the bottom 3, and would I be surprised? Yeah, I'm surprised. Richmond was somebody I think that I had picked. I thought he would make it in, but who do you kick out from the people that made it? Right? It's a tough run, and I think anybody that had a hard run, it was going to be really difficult for him to make up big mistakes. We saw Fuzda make some pretty big mistakes on the bosses, and Raging Fantoon, and missing the Kraid quick kill, and only because he's a 44 XX runner, he has a 44.23, could he make up those mistakes and still get in, and he still just squeaked into the top 9 with given those mistakes. It'd be really hard for anybody who had a slower PB that was in the middle of the pack to make up those mistakes. Yeah,
true. Your guy Fuzda with we saw before they swapped him out. I mean, we saw his Fantoon go bad. His Kraid, his Kraid was just it was rough, and he definitely, when he went off stream, he must have picked it up, and that's a high caliber runner there to run that 48 with those two issues early in the run, especially in a race setting. So definitely right to take him on your team. We saw the main runners we watched on stream. I mean, all making it in. That's awesome too. Fruit Bat Salad, Mr. Guy Average, Travatox, Aussie. We got to see a lot of the top runs. I'm honestly myself not surprised to see Hero. I'm maybe even myself a little surprised to see him that low on the list, kind of having to squeak it in with that 49. He's a great runner, so definitely glad he made it in, and not surprised to see him on the list as well. As far as that goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, four of the 13 runners had to be cut here. But what I'm most excited about is now we're heading into the top 16. I love the playoff format, best 2 out of 3. You can still eliminate one of the categories if you want to try to take away your opponent's strength or your weakness. I cannot wait for these matches to start this week. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely come back for the playoffs. It's a really great format, and I think we're going to see some great racing in the playoffs. And it's not all going to be your bland categories, because there's going to be 2 vetoes and 2 definite picks, and then if it goes down to that third race, it's going to be another random category. So, like today where they threw the any percent in, it doesn't necessarily mean it will be in your best of 3. So you got to be prepared for anything.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I am being told that due to kind of the craziness with all the runners, I don't think we're going to be able to get people in for interviews. Sire, thank you so much for doing commentary with me. This is a lot of fun. Thank you to the organizers and restreamers for dealing with a 12-person run where you're trying to swap people in. It's hard enough to get a 4-person run restream, so I can't imagine how much work went into trying to deal with swapping people in and out here. So thank you for that. Thanks to the organizers. Kip, for your amazing randomization of the category. I think that deserves a round of applause from everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and just say I cannot wait for the tournament to start. Actually, wait a minute. I wonder if are we doing Strat Chat tonight, Kip?
I believe he didn't he say something about it also happening this week too?
I'll just ask him in the chat here.
Yeah. Well, why are you doing that? I mean, yeah, it was definitely it was a pleasure to join you. I'm glad I could get on, and hopefully I'll catch you guys' Strat Chat later. But yeah, I'm excited for the playoffs as well, and for what that has to come, and definitely just a big GG to everyone in the tournament. Even if they didn't make it into the playoffs, there's a lot of people. Who this was their last week or their last game, and so GG to them. They had an excellent. I didn't see any games in the tournament that were like, oh, this is not a good game. Like, we had so many good tournament matches. So, keep watching the playoffs, and as we head into the top 16 and the top 8, it's gonna get exciting.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that is everything from me. Thank you all. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy your Super Metroid. There's going to be some exciting matches coming up, and I guess I'll sign up with my usual. Always try to be the human that your dog thinks you are. Thank you, and GG.
GG. See you next mission.